Well, I guess we're gonna have to take control. And if it's up to us, we got to take it home. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to be here. I know it's been a long time no see, but I'm going to update y'all on everything that has happened and everything that to look forward to on this channel as we go on. I'm glad to be back. I know the last time that I was here, I did a 72 rolling 72 fast. And so I'm going to quickly update you on that fast and what happened with that fast and what's going to happen going forward. So on the rolling 72 fast, it did not work out the way I planned it to. And so here's something people want to know is, did you gain back the weight? And the truth of that is, yes, I did. I gained back the weight after doing the rolling 72. And so what I want to say about that is that I have not given up on fasting for weight loss. As after I get finished doing this 40-day fast that I'm on right now, I will return to also doing fasting, but it's not going to be the rolling 72, and it's going to be something more like a daily fast. But we'll talk more about that. But I will say that in doing that fast, I did learn a lot about myself. I actually took the time to study more of my symptoms and the things that I was experiencing during that fast. And I came up with, some more ideas. At first, I thought that it was about, the lack of vitamins, but in which, we can all experience, having, vitamin deficiencies, right? Well, it was actually something else that I believe that I didn't think about paying attention to, because it's a water fast. And kind of automatically you would think that a water fast is hydrating. But now that I look back on what was happening after I've done some reading, after I've done some research on some things, I found out that 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated. And so looking back over at my symptoms and the things I was having during the fast, I was like, well, yeah, I can see why that could be so. And the reason why during that fast, you think, just because it's weight off doesn't mean it's actually weight. It's really just fluid. You was losing a lot of fluid. And at that point, if you started chronically dehydrated and ended. So I learned something about that in hydration and trying to understand what's going on today. We're drinking bottled water, and in bottled water, I'm not saying that it's not good for you. It's water, but the water doesn't have life in it because it's been filtered, it's been drained, it's been sitting in plastic. It doesn't have the life in it that we need. And so what I feel going on with fasting, that the water I drink from now on, I'm going to revive it with life. And some people may do so by doing lemon, and some people do things like cucumber, in their water. I also took the time to look up like hydrating vegetables and hydrating fruits and things like that. And the ones that hold the most water, like watermelon and things like that, are actually what's needed to have the right amount of sugar and the right amount of sodium that's going to that your body can take and actually take into it as hydration. Okay, some people drink coconut water. And am I doing all those things on this fast? A few of them, yes. And I'm going to explain to you why I'm going to use some of those things. This 40-day fast that I'm doing is not for weight loss. This 40-day fast that I am doing is strictly spiritual. And so even though I did do the previous one, but when I first started learning how to do fasting, it was for spiritual purposes. And that always works, okay? For whatever you're praying for and whatever you're doing, spiritual fasting always works. So don't give up on fasting just because, it doesn't mean if it doesn't work for somebody as far as weight loss wise, because weight loss wise, some people have experienced success from doing fasting, but it's probably other reasons, and probably not being chronically dehydrated is probably one of them. Okay. And so when it comes to starting off on these fasts, I'm pretty sure being hydrated for real is very important to the body, so that you don't, I'm not going to say that you're not going to experience some symptoms, but to the point of, what I was feeling and what I was experiencing. And so this spiritual fast that I'm going to be going on, I will be using a couple of things. And the only reason, because I know people are going to say, Jesus didn't fast like that. He only had water, and that's the only fast. Yes, but, he didn't have bottled water. He had water that had life in it. And that's the difference. And I want to do a safe fast where, that at the end, let me tell you something, drinking water alone, or just, I don't care what you put in it, just drinking alone for 40 days is hard. Okay. So don't get it twisted that, just because you sprayed a little something in there, that it's not going to be difficult. No, not eating for 40 days straight is something. Okay. It's something that I had to think about before making this video, because when I made this video, I actually made a video yesterday, but my timing clocked out. I didn't have enough time, and so I had to wind up erasing that video. And I said on that video that I was starting on day 3 of my fast. Now, because I have to erase the video for more timing, today is day 4 of my fast. Okay? And so if you hear my stomach growling, you know, okay? I will be posting my weight. But I'm only going to be posting my weight once a week. And the only reason why I'm posting my weight is because I want people to understand this fast that I'm doing is real. And so, because some people can be like, anybody can say they fast and not really have any, thing that says like, how will we know if you're fasting? You know what I'm saying? So you're going to know that I'm fasting. You're going to see it in me. You're going to see it on me, in my face or whatever. I'm not wearing any makeup or anything. And so you're going to see it in my skin, and you're going to see as I go through. So the point of me doing this fast is because I have a prayer. And because I don't have a lot of time to explain it right now, I'm going to explain it tomorrow, what I am praying for. And some people would probably come out and say, well, when you're doing a spiritual fast, nobody ain't supposed to know that you're fasting. I already know the rules of fasting. The rules of fasting is nobody talks about fasting. Everybody knows the rules, okay? But about time you see this first introductory video, I would already be finished fasting. So my 40 days would be complete. So what I'm running you down right now is just little documentary, like what happened during my fast. Okay? And so I'm excited. I actually feel good. Before I decide to record, like I did a couple of consecutive days, to make sure that I was ready for the long ride. Okay. And I was just like, yesterday, I was like, okay, I think I'm going to film. I'm totally ready to go ahead and take this all the way. So I'm dedicated. I'm ready. I'm totally inspired by the monks that are walking across America right now. They were walking from Texas all the way to DC, I believe. And they were doing their self-sacrifice for peace. And I totally, from a spiritual perspective, respect that, because I think that is something that we all should be doing, that we are coming together as a collective in what's going on and what's happening in the world today. And so we refuse, to let evil take hold. We refuse to let them think that they're going to win this time, because God's chosen ones, his, everybody don't like the word chosen ones. All of you are chosen. Doesn't matter what, where you're from or what religion you don't got into. If you feel that you are here to rise up against the evil in this world and to push it towards, a higher frequency, then this is totally for you. February is a very special time. We have Valentine's Day, we have Black History Month, we have all those things. But if you look up February, and I think they said in Latin it's fabulosos. Fabulosos, not fabulous, not fabulous, fabuloso. Fabulosos, however they say it. It means purification. So if you've been feeling in your heart, in your spirit, to purify, then you are on the right frequency. You're really feeling it, because usually around this time, people start feeling this need or this want to purify. And so if you're feeling that in your spirit around this time, this might be the message for you to go ahead and do that. If you never fasted before, I hope this becomes encouragement to give it a try. There is a scripture in the Bible which talks about, I'm going to put it down here at the bottom, but it says that these things come out by prayer and fasting. So there are only certain things that can be moved or transformed by prayer and fasting. And so if you felt called to do so, then I'm here to tell you that it's a wonderful thing. But I am also here as a person who's have done this quite a few times, that it can be dangerous if you don't understand your medical needs. Okay? So I always want to push to you safety first. and for you to understand yourself. If if you don't know that you're chronically dehydrated, you start the fast, you'll find out. Because there are things that'll be happening. I remember last time I talked about poop and things like that or whatever that happens during fasting. But I understand now that comes from being chronically dehydrated. And so what I'm not going to tell you specifically how you should do it, because everybody has different needs. But what I'm doing in my fast is that I got AI to make me a fasting schedule so that I can make sure all the daily needs that I need, I can, so I can do all this in balance. And so I have it in the morning where I'm taking a teaspoon of honey and a pinch of Celtic salt, and I'm putting it into 16 to 24 ounces of water. And that's what I'm going to down in the morning. And then by the midday, I am going to take on about 12 ounces of coconut water, real coconut, from the real coconut. It's going to be nasty. This fast is not going to be anything about anything tasting good, okay? I'm also going to put that in like 24 ounces of water and stir it up and drink it down slowly. It's not about, when it spoke about hydrating, it's not about guzzling it all back as much as you can take. It's actually about taking in a little bit at a time so that your body can actually absorb and process what it needs. Some people was like, why honey? And so what I did was I got on and did my little research to go try to find how to make a medical grade Pedialyte. And it ran me down the honey with, because it's natural, and the salt. And it showed me in what mixtures I needed. And also what I did in AI was put in my weight and said, like, how much will I need according to my weight? So that's probably something you might want to try. Put in according to your weight, and also ask it to make you a schedule as well to make sure that you're hydrated, and how much is for the weight of your body each day. And that's what I did. And so my 20 minutes is up. I'm going to try and do 20 minutes a day, okay? And so, yes, that is what I'm doing to start my 40-day water fast. But I'm doing it safely because I'm adding more life, natural things to the water so that I'm hydrated along the way, okay? And so I want, if you decide to take on this 40-day fast, I don't think a 40-day fast is something, if you're a beginner. If you are a beginner, you always start small with like a 2-day fast, a 3, and then you work yourself up to a week. Let me tell you something. Just because you don't do a 40-day fast doesn't mean that God cannot bless you in them 3 days. And God can't do what it can do, in those 5 or 7 days. Okay? So don't be extreme, especially if it's your first time. Don't be extreme. You just take your time with it, be mindful of your body, and also be mindful of the symptoms that you are having, and tend to those symptoms. Okay? Tend to those symptoms. Do not try to push through and try to be like, I'm trying to be strong. No. Don't play. People can die fasting. And also be sure, I will talk about this next time, things that you should probably think about when you're getting ready to come off of your fast, because you have to understand that your body shuts down. Okay? So you don't want to start it back up trying to eat a hamburger or something. People have died like that. Okay. So there are things you have to slowly integrate yourself back into eating. You have to start as much water and things as you drink, you're going to have to drink, you know, even in the end, and work your way up with smoothies and things like that, and until you wean yourself, you know, back into eating. So I think that's what I wanted to say. And I think that's a great start um, for this 40-day fast. I will be coming back on tomorrow so that I can fill you guys in on, my prayers for this fast and what I would like to see in the world and the things going on. And so, yeah. So I'm going to cut it off because I don't have much time on here. But thanks for stopping by, and we'll talk. We'll get up. All right? Bye.